Apple has a new app for sending out party invitations. Even though the world already has plenty of party invite apps, Apple's crashing the party invite party with its own spin on the tool. I have tested the app for a bit, and there are cute features, but also you might run into some little hiccups that could be weird to your guests, so I invite you to watch this video before you start spamming your friends with event links. Yes, there is one more app to download this week. Your favorite Apple show host has tips for you on making Apple invites and some advice on if you're sending it to people without Apple accounts. I'm Bridget Carey, and this is One More Thing. For starters, not everyone can make an Apple invite. Sorry to be a party pooper right at the start, but it requires an iCloud Plus account. And iCloud Plus is when you pay monthly for iCloud storage that goes beyond the basic 5 gigs of free storage. Apple likes to throw in perks if you pay for iCloud Plus, and the ability to make unlimited Apple invites is now one of those perks. So Apple is probably hoping to drive more subscriptions to iCloud Plus. This new tool is also Apple's way of giving more love to its own calendar app. But you don't need an Apple account to RSVP to an event or see the event details. You don't have to worry if guests have Android phones. They just interact with the invitation on a website if they don't get the app. What makes an Apple invite interesting is that it ties into a lot of Apple services like Apple Maps and Weather, along with shared photo albums and music playlists. And for the graphics, you can pull from your own photos, use some of their basic templates, or get fancy with Apple Intelligence and make art with Image Playground. So let's say you're throwing a get-together for the big sports ball thing that's happening, and you want to make an invite with Apple's AI. You better specify, though, that it's American football. That's better. Put in the event location, and it gives you the weather and the map to the event. You throw in some details, and that's all there really is to it. But after messing around with it a bit, I learned a few lessons in the sharing process. So here are 5 tips to know before sending out an Apple invite. First off, you can change your display name for each event, no matter if you are a host or a guest. Maybe I'm Bridget Carey for some parties, but I'm Aunt Bridget to some family. And if my kids get a birthday party invite from their classmate, I could put my kid's first name as the RSVP, or put both of our names to make it easier on folks keeping track of who is coming. But you can be as private and mysterious as you want here for the display name. Number 2, the party host sees everyone's email. If you RSVP, you have to either put in your Apple ID address or another real email address of some kind and enter a verification code to prove it is really your email. Guests cannot see the email of other guests. You cannot message other guests. If you have a question, you can see the email of the party host. But it's kind of annoying to email someone because you can't select or copy an email address. I hope they do fix that in an update because I don't really want to awkwardly try to memorize and manually type in emails if I need to reach out to a host with a question. Number 3, when you RSVP, you can leave a little sweet note. And everyone sees your note. The host cannot reply to you, and the host cannot hide your message. So it could be awkward if you send something personal in the reply. Don't make it weird. Replying to an RSVP is not a place to ask party questions, even though that's the first thing everyone was doing in my tests. But if you mess up, you can change your message right away. Number 4, let's say you are hosting and you're ready to share the invite. You can keep this party locked down tight, or you can make the link open. There's even freedom to let people add guests or invite others. Now, if you want something more open, you can make a general link to the invite and share it to a group chat. Say maybe your kid had a birthday and you are sending a single party invite to all of the class parents at once, then whoever wants to go just RSVPs. If you want, you can also send it as personal links to individuals. But if you send it in more than one way, you might get a person showing up twice in your invite list. For example, here, we want Scott in our party, but no one wants 2 Scotts. So a host would need to clean that up. Also, if you send personalized invitations, other guests can see who else you invited that did not respond yet. And finally, a few tips for the whole guest bonding collaboration fun stuff. I use Apple Music, and I like how you can make a shared playlist for anyone to add songs to for the party. Now, if you collab on a playlist, that means everyone invited can collab. And if you want to stop folks from adding songs, you have to go into Apple Music's app to turn off collaboration. If the guest does not have Apple Music, they can still see the playlist, so that's pretty cool. Apple Invites also let you create a shared photo album so people can upload photos from the party to look back on later. But you need to make an iCloud account to participate, to add photos. And when my Android friend went to make one, it said he needed to use the same email that was used for his invitation, or else the host has to invite them again, and basically don't count on your non-tech savvy guests even bothering with all of that. If you already pay for iCloud storage and you have a phone with Apple Intelligence and Image Playground, you might get a kick out of using Apple Invites, so go ahead and download it. But there are so many other ways to send a modern event invite. A lot of folks like Partyful, which is free, and it works with many calendars and many operating systems, all the same. I haven't used Partyful because I'm weird and I like printing out actual cards to hand out, which makes me wonder about the future of this app. Will there be updates? I would love a PDF version of the invites we create so I can print it on cardstock. And that idea isn't so far out because Apple used to have a cards app that printed actual paper and sent it in the mail. Will there be easier ways for hosts to answer guest questions? And will Tim Cook use this app to invite press to a March event for the new spring Apple products? RSVP is yes, please. I invite you to share your thoughts about the app in the comments, and I'll catch you next week for one more thing.